Welcome to a brand new episode of Health 360. On the show this week, a special conversation with Dr. Gamadia, B-Town's favorite celebrity acupuncturist. Know all about the heart-friendly DASH diet. We'll also tell you about perimenopause and the morning SARS that could be leading to heart attacks between the time of 7 to 11. I'm Sneha Mordani. This is Health 360. You're eating right, you're working out, you're doing everything that they told you to do. So why won't the weight budge? It's not just about the calories. From hidden hormones to chronic stress, the real roadblocks may be actually deeper than what you think. We'll tell you all about the silent sabotage of your weight loss journey and how to fight back smart. You're counting calories, you're hitting the gym, but the scale still stuck. If your weight loss journey feels more like a standstill, you're not alone. We aren't even aware of, for example, how many people know that if you're not sleeping right, no matter what you do, no matter how many hours you put in or how you fix your diet, you will never lose weight, isn't it, Luke?
Absolutely. In fact, our Honorable Prime Minister had recognized the initiative that we did a year and a half ago. We ran a sleep campaign across India, and you're absolutely right. People were like, what? Sleep is required for my health? I can't lose weight if I'm not sleeping. People were so surprised. So we just did awareness about the importance of sleep. And especially women out there have to understand that their hormonal health gets affected with even a couple of hours of sleep deprivation. So I'm not here to put pressure on people. I'm here to inspire people that deep sleep is an important part of prevention and even recovery.
Mistake number one, you're eating healthy foods, but too much of them. Nowadays, a lot of emphasis is put on, eating healthy food, but how many of us are aware of the fact that we are perhaps overdoing? Dry fruits and nuts, for example, avocados, protein shakes. We're ending up overdoing these good foods, so-called healthy foods, and not tracking portions, and that really obviously interferes with our weight loss journey as well, isn't it? Overdoing these so-called healthy foods.
Nuts and seeds and avocado, these are great for us, but more doesn't mean we get healthier. I know people who started to lose weight when we just changed the proportion of cashew nuts they were eating. And they started to drop weight because they were overdoing it. But they said, look, it's healthy. It's great fats. It's good fats. So we have to be as a country, as we're evolving, we have to be very cautious of the content we're consuming and the content we're putting out there.
Another common culprit, liquid calories. Your morning latte, that smoothie, or even a glass of wine adds up very quickly. Many of us don't really get that, but we may be thinking that we're drinking liquids, and that may actually add up very quickly as far as calories are concerned. For example, you mentioned protein shakes, even a morning latte, even a glass of wine at the end of the day. A lot of calories, just talk to us a little about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every calorie is different. At the end of the day, if I'm consuming more calories and unhealthy calories, I don't only have weight gain, but I also have metabolic syndromes. So, for example, someone comes and says, Luke, I'll do everything, but I just want to have one Frappuccino every day. Now, your Frappuccino is 600 calories filled with saturated fat. In fact, the only thing you need to do is stop the Frappuccino, have a normal coffee. So, the point is, we have to understand that just because something's in a liquid form, a lot of the energy drinks that have artificial sweeteners, sugars, promising lesser calories, are also creating metabolic syndromes in the body. So just because it's a glass of something, it's good that we bring our mindfulness to how many calories this has so that we can fit that into our weight loss goals or into our overall health goals. Aerated drinks are also causing a problem.
Another common pitfall, lack of sleep and stress. Your body releases cortisol, a hormone that can increase fat storage, especially around your belly. If you're not sleeping well or you're constantly stressed, weight loss becomes a lot harder, no matter how well you eat. Do talk to us a little about how people are doing everything right, but they're chronically stressed. I mean, normal stress, regular stress is something which is acceptable. But chronic stress is something that will prevent us from losing that extra flab, isn't it, Luke?
Chronic stress is a huge problem in our country, and it's across all parts of our country. And again, because you're stressed, you can't sleep. Now, because you can't sleep, you choose the wrong foods, you don't have energy to work out. So, actually, we have to
True.
start working with our mental, emotional health. And again, I want to remind our citizens in India, where in a country where we have the tradition of yoga, pranayama, meditation, we have nature. I mean, use it. Start using it to find your calm. It is so important for us to work top down.
Finally, if you're constantly switching diets, you may be doing more harm than good. Consistency, not perfection, is the secret weapon here. Focus on small, sustainable changes instead of chasing quick fixes. If your weight loss journey feels stuck, take a step back. The problem might not be your body, it could be the little mistakes along the way. When it comes to our health, few things are as vital or as vulnerable as the human heart. Heart disease remains the leading cause of death globally, and yet many of us don't fully understand how or when our hearts are most at risk. Straight up, 5 facts you need to know about your heart. Deaths due to heart attacks are extremely common in India, and there is a great deal of concern around it. 32,457 people died of heart attacks in the year 2022, marking a 12.5% increase from 28,413 deaths in 2021. Of the 56,653 sudden deaths recorded in 2022, heart attacks accounted for nearly 57%, underscoring their significant contribution to sudden deaths. Cardiovascular diseases have surpassed infectious diseases as India's leading cause of death, affecting younger age groups extending across socio-economic and geographic boundaries. Hence, we decided to talk about 5 heart facts around heart health that you must know. Fact number 1. Most heart attacks happen between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. in the morning. This due to a combination of biological, hormonal, and lifestyle factors. Why does this really happen? When you wake up, your body releases cortisol, which is a stress hormone, and adrenaline. These hormones increase heart rate, blood pressure, and blood sugar levels. This sudden surge can put added stress on your heart and blood vessels. Why do we see a spike in heart attacks during the morning hours, especially between 7 to 11 a.m., doctor?
There's an increased spike of heart attacks which happen early morning, not exactly between 7 to 11. Sometimes it happens between 4 o'clock in the morning to about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, because
Right.
the stress hormones or catecholamines, there's a surge in the hormones. So there's a maximum stress hormones happen in the morning. The blood is the thickest in the morning. It is viscous. Tendency to form clots is much higher.
There's a natural spike in blood pressure called the morning surge. This rise makes the heart work harder and it can plague rupture in the arteries, trigger clot formation, leading to blocked blood flow, resulting in a heart attack. Going from a lying down position to a standing up position can cause sudden blood pressure shifts, reducing oxygen flow, strain on the heart if arteries are already blocked. I've heard a lot about this, and just tell us a little more. Is suddenly getting up from sleep dangerous really for the heart?
So when you get up suddenly, there is something called as orthostatic hypotension. When you get up
Okay.
suddenly, there is peripheral pooling of blood in the legs. Calf muscles are a peripheral pump. Normally,
Okay.
calf muscles pump blood, and that blood goes to the brain. But in case if the calf muscles are weak, elderly population especially, in those cases, the blood supply to the brain does not go. There's peripheral pooling of blood. You feel a little lightheaded, drowsy. If you have high blood pressure values, so 4 numbers are very vital in such cases. When it comes to this, 4 numbers are your pulse, your blood pressure, your fasting blood sugar, and fourth number is your lipid levels and your walking distance.
Many people begin their day rushing, skipping breakfast, dealing with work stress. Activities like early morning exercise, commuting, arguing can trigger. Talk to us a little about our morning habits like rushing, skipping breakfast, stress, make heart attacks more likely in the morning.
Fasting too much, not eating food that time, and then rushing
Right.
through things. can only make matters worse. So morning time, you should spend time for a little bit of yoga, meditation, breathing exercises, calm down, relax down, have a sip of tea or coffee, stay back, read a newspaper, do not rush through it. Breakfast is the most vital component of the day. Make sure that you're properly hydrated and properly fed for your entire routine. You cannot rush things in the morning because that is the time when you can have a sudden cardiac arrest happening.
The body's internal biological clock affects the cardiovascular system. Studies show heart attack risk follows a circadian pattern, peaking in the morning regardless of region or ethnicity. A landmark study in the New England Journal of Medicine 1997 has found that heart attacks are 3 times more likely to occur between 6 a.m. and noon than at night. Fact number 2. Even 1,000 steps a day can lower the risk of heart disease. Any movement is better than no movement. Mark my words, how well your heart is performing is directly proportional to how much you move on a daily basis. It improves circulation. Walking even a little improves blood flow and oxygen delivery to your heart and muscles. It lowers blood pressure. Regular movement, even small amounts, help reduce blood pressure and improves vascular function. Fact number 3. Fitness supplements can risk your heart. Many supplements contain stimulants like caffeine, cyanephrine or yohimbine. These can cause increased heart rate, elevated blood pressure, heart rhythm disturbances. Excessive stimulants can overload your cardiovascular system, trigger heart problems, especially in people with pre-existing conditions. You know, there are fitness supplements that I want to talk about. There's been a lot of chatter around it. I understand that they do have supplements like caffeine, for example, to boost you up. Can these supplements increase the risk of heart problems? And of course, when you talk about supplements, also talk about, the sugar content in all of these supplements.
Absolutely, fitness supplements like synchrones or probably aerated drinks which contains even artificial softeners like aspartame, sucralose, those ones, or even the energy drinks which are full of sugar and full of performance enhancing materials should be avoided at all costs. Especially people who are above the age of 30, they should avoid because of there'll be the increased urge of sugars, there'll be increased surge of the blood pressure, and then the heart rate also goes up to the roof, causing increased stress on the heart. So make sure that these things have to be avoided as far as possible.
Fact number 4. Stress, the chronic kind, can harm your heart in a big way. It raises heart rate, puts pressure on the heart, causes inflammation that leads to artery damage and plaque buildup, can trigger irregular heartbeats, leads to unhealthy habits like smoking, overeating and inactivity, increases blood sugar, bad cholesterol, raising heart disease risk. Chronic stress, I'm not talking about regular stress, which is very normal, but chronic stress is as harmful to the heart as smoking or high cholesterol, isn't it, doctor?
Absolutely, you hit the nail on the head. Chronic stress is a major killer. Chronic stress, the truth is in the belief is in the moderation now. Do not go for perfection. Chronic stress could be because of insomnia, lack anxiety, anxiety causing lack of sleep. Sleep is a major important determinant because at least 7.5 hours of sleep is vital. Exercise, as I told you, in moderation is the key. Lipoprotein A, ApoB, and high sensitivity CRP. These are 3 blood markers which will tell you or preempt you that certain things are changing in your body.
Fact number 5. Do not underestimate the power of diet for heart health. A DASH diet is great. What is it? The DASH diet is dietary approaches to stop hypertension. It's a heart healthy eating plan designed to lower blood pressure, improve overall cardiovascular health. Fruits and vegetables, whole grains like oats, brown rice, whole wheat, low-fat dairy, milk, yogurt, cheese, lean protein, fish, poultry, beans and nuts, limited salt, low sugar and low fat. Joining us today is Dr. Jewel Gamadia, celebrity acupuncturist, the person that everyone in B-Town goes to seek solutions to their problems. He's also a therapist, a physician. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Jewel. I want to begin by asking you that you are, in fact, using Western acupuncture to cure every Bollywood celebrity from Katrina Kaif and Anushka Sharma to Ajay Devgan. Tell us, what is this exactly? What is this Western acupuncture?
Western acupuncture, to explain, imagine there's point A and there's point B. Point A is that ancient knowledge that our forefathers had, which actually kept our ancestors very nice, healthy, and they lived long. Point B is today's world, the modern science. So basically, it's a bridge between them, where you do not forget the principles, but you also don't overlook today's diagnostics. So that bridge or the integration of these two worlds is Western acupuncture.
Because you interact with so many celebrities on a daily basis, I just want to ask you about this and how there's been so much conversation that we've seen in the last few days and weeks around treatments that celebrities are undergoing to look young. Tell us about what's your take on these treatments going wrong, celebrities doing it at a very young age, perhaps when they don't even need it, is what we've seen in as early as their 20s. They're going for all kinds of things. What's your take on this?
These guys, they have to be the epitome of perfection because everybody looks up to them. That's why they are called as the icons. But age, lifestyle, everything catches up. And then because of the pressure that you have to keep looking good, even that smallest fault, which will never be noticed by anybody, but because they know it's being noticed, they are forced to, or they are compelled to go through certain types of procedures.
What's your take on something that's hotly debated? I'm talking about aging. Why is there so much negativity attached to it? Which side of the debate are you on? Do celebrities not have the right to age gracefully?
See, age is just as real as sun and the moon. Okay? But people don't understand there's a difference between aging and there's a difference between decaying. So, aging has to happen. Okay? You can't stop it. But decaying is something that you can stop. That's what I tell people. And also, now, the way people are running behind anti-aging, there's so much of fads going out around, and people, again, it all comes down to desperation. Do not try everything in the market. Make yourself, channelize yourself. Suppose you say, I was 20 and I was perfectly fine. Now I'm in my 30s and I'm gaining weight. So, channelize. Okay, anti-aging, you want to lose weight. Channelize that. Don't say that I'm going to lose weight also, I'm going to have great skin also, I'm going to have great hair also. Don't mix everything together.
There's been a lot of chatter around your famous detox supplements, a lot of conversation around whether one even needs these supplements. Aren't your kidneys, your liver really good enough to help your body detoxify?
Very simple. Kidneys are a natural filters. Okay? They are not industrial filters. What I mean to say by this is they were designed to handle normal filtration. In today's world, they are not. They have an extensive load. Everything around you is polluted. Everything, right from food to the air to the water. So this creates an excessive load on your kidneys. So when I say detox, when I say take supplements, they are not replacing your kidneys. They are supporting your kidneys. So that happens through supplements, and I think it's a very essential part to detox in today's world. And also post-detox, people just talk about detox. You need to repair as well. That is one of the main things that people overlook.
All right, Dr. Gamadia, I'm going to leave it at that for the moment. I'm going to thank you for joining in and sharing your views with us on a range of issues, right from what you should be doing, simple steps as far as changes in your lifestyle are concerned, these things that one can easily do to just fix some basic things in us. Thanking you again. It's a phase that every woman will face, but few are truly prepared for. Perimenopause, the transitional stage before menopause, can bring years of symptoms that affect not just the body but the mind and emotions as well. Yet for too long, it's been misunderstood, underdiagnosed and undertreated. Let's take a closer look at what perimenopause really means and whether hormone replacement therapy or HRT might be the answer for some women. 10 signs of hormonal imbalance women should not ignore. hair thinning, low sex drive, brain fog, dry vagina, weight gain around your tummy. I know this sounds like a familiar story to many women above the age of 40. What is going on in your body? Why is this living normally after 40 becoming all that difficult? We're here to break this down for you and have you in a conversation that will be helping you. First of all, these are signs of hormonal imbalances and can significantly affect a woman's physical, emotional, and mental well-being. While occasional fluctuations are normal, persistent symptoms could signal an underlying issue that should not be ignored. Some symptoms suggest hormonal imbalance, like we've spoken about. Which hormones usually go off track, and when should women take these symptoms very, very seriously?
Now, the hormonal fluctuations that we're talking about concern mostly estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, and to some levels, we also see that insulin resistance will increase. We also see that thyroid hormone can also undergo fluctuations.
Right.
Whenever one hormone is getting deranged, the balance goes off, and that is where the hormonal fluctuations start troubling us. So there is tendency for injuries because all these hormones are also required for our bone health.
Around the age of 40, many women begin transitioning into perimenopause, a stage where hormone levels, especially estrogen and progesterone, start to fluctuate more significantly. These changes can lead to noticeable physical and emotional symptoms. You know, perimenopause actually starts so much more earlier than what we think it does, isn't it? It's actually sometimes even 10 years earlier than actual menopause setting in, isn't it?
If we talk about internationally or Western population, the age of menopause is as high as 51 years. Us Indians, as an ethnicity, have an earlier age of menopause. So in late 40s, most of our women go into menopause. That could be because of various conditions, because of our lifestyle, because of our genetics. All these contribute in our earlier age of menopause as opposed to the Western population.
One of the most common signs is irregular or changing menstrual cycles, including heavier or lighter periods, skipped cycles, or shorter intervals between periods. Hot flashes and night sweats may begin to appear, causing sudden sensations of heat, excessive sweating, disrupted sleep. Now, speaking of sleep, many women in their 40s start experiencing insomnia or poor quality sleep due to hormonal imbalances affecting melatonin and progesterone levels. Mood swings, irritability, increased anxiety, depression can occur because estrogen plays a critical role in regulating serotonin, a mood stabilizing neurotransmitter. Decreased libido is another common issue, often accompanied by vaginal dryness or discomfort due to declining estrogen levels. Weight gain, especially around the abdomen, is frequently reported as hormonal shifts slow down metabolism, affect how the body stores fat. Mental clarity may also decline, with many women experiencing brain fog, forgetfulness, or difficulty concentrating. Persistent fatigue, in spite of adequate sleep, can be a sign of low thyroid function or imbalances in cortisol and adrenal hormones. Additionally, thinning hair or increased shedding may develop due to hormonal fluctuations or thyroid issues. These symptoms are often mistakenly attributed to stress or aging, but they may be clear indicators of hormonal imbalances. You know, weight gain happens around the time of perimenopause. Talk to us about how that really is, inevitable, as bad as it may sound, isn't it?
Weight gain has a complex etiology. Basically, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, all these hormones in our body are going down during the perimenopause period. Now, estrogen, as women, estrogen is such an important hormone for us. As in how we go in towards perimenopause, you must have heard that the sleep is getting deranged. She's not eating that much, but still she's gaining weight. And the weight gain is majorly around the abdominal area. This all is a vicious circle wherein our metabolism is slowed down even further and weight gain happens.
Doctors say hormone replacement therapy, HRT, should be offered as the first treatment to ease menopause symptoms such as hot flushes and night sweats. What is it? Doctor, tell us about the hormone replacement therapy. Really, explain to us what this exactly is and how does it work?
Hormone replacement therapy, basically what we do is we replace the hormones from outside because the body's hormones are going down. Estrogen is going down, progesterone is going down, testosterone is going down. So we can replace these hormones from outside. There is abnormality in glucose metabolism. So that is why the weight gain is there. So once we replace the hormones, once we change the lifestyle, once we add a good diet, aerobic exercises are the ones that make you breathe and pant. So jogging, dancing, swimming, that you can do.
Hormone replacement therapy, or HRT, tops up and stabilizes falling estrogen levels. Those who take it generally don't stay on it forever. Just to help with the menopausal transition, many patients say it made a big difference to their well-being. HRT can help to prevent bone loss and fractures for women under 60. It may offer some protection against heart disease. You know, who really is a fit candidate for the HRT therapy and who can't go for it?
Who are the candidates which can really go in for a hormone replacement therapy? As I mentioned, if there's any history of clotting or strokes, all these in our patients or in the families, then we do not offer them at least oral hormonal therapies. Patients who are having migraine with aura, those patients, we are strictly keeping them away from these hormones. Patients who cannot go for hormonal replacement therapy are the ones who have history of endometrial cancer, as I spoke about. So hormone dependent cancers, they have to avoid hormone replacement therapy at all costs.
Should self-care at this stage, rather than the number on your scales, be of more importance? Prioritizing holistic wellness, mindful eating, and focus on reducing stress would go a long way in making this journey far more smoother. Well, that brings us to the end of this edition of Health 360. We hope you enjoyed watching this show as much as we did, putting it together for you. All our stories around health, wellness and fitness is up on our website. It's indiatoday.in. They can also be found on India Today's social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook and X, which is Twitter. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to like, subscribe and share these stories. Take very good care of yourself. Bye for now.